Welcome to Highway 30. I'm Amy. Today I'm here to share with you a craft that I've put together. I got a little inspiration from the last time I went to Walmart, and I also have this little addiction to glass jars. I have a hard time throwing away the glass jars, whether it be from like a dressing or we get these from little cola bottles. There's a ton of them, and there are a lot of different shapes and sizes. I found these cute little vases in Walmart the other day, and I thought I could recreate something that looks like those with these little glass jars. The price on the ones in the store, a little high, I thought. I'm drawing the inspiration from the ones I saw in the store, but because I'm making it on our own, I am going to personalize it with the color that I want to use. Hopefully it will match everything in our room, and create the stencil for it as well. We're gonna use the Waverly chalk paint in peacock and white. And I think when I make the stencil this time, I'm actually going to add a little bit of this spackling to the chalk paint when I add the stencil onto it. That will give it a little more texture, I think. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try it. If it doesn't work out, then I might not do it. So I'm going to start with creating the stencil for these, and then we'll get to painting. So these are the jars that I picked, and the first thing I'm going to do before we get started with the painting is I'm just going to take some of these alcohol swabs and just kind of clean off the glass, just in case there are any oils or anything from hands, but they'll be nice and clean. The chalk paint goes on really well to glass, and I've done this several times. I'm sure it's going to take at least 2 coats, maybe even 3. We'll see. This is such a pretty color. I guess it doesn't matter if I get paint on my shirt today. I've painted on glass many times and I've never had this issue, and maybe I didn't let it dry quite enough, or maybe this glass is a little more slick, but I'm just going to use really gentle strokes and add this second coat and maybe even a third. Then I think we're going to have to seal this before we put this stencil on. So I remembered halfway through my project here that I did want to paint one of these in the opposite color. So I'm taking another one of these jars because I definitely have a few collected. I'm painting this one white, so the stencil will be in the peacock color. I'm also not having the same issue with the paint peeling off of this one, and it could be because I actually didn't wipe this one off with the alcohol swab. So perhaps that was a mistake. I'm going to take it back. Just paint your dirty jars. I mean, they were cleaned at the sink, but maybe just water and soap, and that will be good enough because that paint's not peeling off this time. All right, I think I finally have the coverage on these that I'm happy with. I did have a problem with that paint peeling, so I did probably 3 to 4 coats on these. That's a trick. If you want to make it not look so homemade, then keep going. I see a lot of things sitting at the thrift store that I think probably maybe 1 coat, 2 coats, and they were unhappy with it. The trick, keep going. Add another coat. Now, I am a little bit nervous about my stencils going on these and peeling the paint off. So what I'll do next is let these dry, and then I'm going to take them out and spray them with a matte polyurethane to seal that in, and hopefully that'll help the sticker not peel the paint off. Time to clean brushes. These have now been drying for actually a couple of days. I wanted to give them the best shot of this first layer actually staying on the glass. So now I'm going to take an older piece of transfer paper so it's not as sticky as it could be, and take my stencils and apply them to the jars. I have to remember which stencils went with which jar. Okay. This one, this one. So let's do the other 2 jars. You know, sometimes we start out with one idea and then we end up changing it, and that's what I'm going to do today. I was going to try and make the paint a little bit thicker with the spackling, but because I did pick a design that was so delicate, I think I'm going to scrap this idea. We'll try this on something else one day. So on the white, I'm going to start with the peacock, and then I'll add the white for the stencil on the peacock jars. I love this little mat. I got this, they come 2 to a pack at the Dollar Tree. I can wash it off if I want and reuse it, or I can just toss it if it gets really nasty. You know, I imagine there's going to be some bleed through on this, but that's all right. I think even the one in the store showed bleed through and it looked intentional. So we'll say that's how it's supposed to be, if it happens. All right, now it's time for what I think is the best part of the whole project. We're gonna reveal. We're gonna see what happened. Oh, cool. I definitely think it was worth the extra time to spray this with the poly and let it set for a day. I think using 2 colors with such stark contrast really makes it dramatic. Uh-oh. Bad news. I spoke too soon. This was the jar that I had the most trouble with in the beginning, getting that paint to stick. I'll work on this just a little bit in a minute. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed crafting with us today. If you feel inspired to create something like this, how about let us know down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more. We'll see you next week.